Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, or anyone who's ever found a penny on the ground and wondered, could this be my ticket to millions? Today, we're diving into a little copper beauty you might have in your piggy bank right now, the 1990 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, this 1 cent wonder could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Now, before you rush to dump your coin jar on the floor, stick around because I'll tell you everything you need to know about this penny's value, how to spot it, and even share a funny story about how I almost missed out on a rare coin myself. Let's get rolling. Alright, let's start with the basics. Most US coins are stamped with a mint mark, a little letter that tells you where it was made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. But if you've got a 1990 penny with no mint mark at all, you might be holding on to something extraordinary. This little coin slipped out of the Philadelphia Mint without its identifying P. Now, why is that a big deal? Because it's a mistake, and mistakes make coins rare. Rare equals valuable. Coin collectors love imperfections, kind of like how my dog loves to chew on only my favorite shoes. The short answer? Scarcity. There aren't many of these pennies out there, and coin collectors are willing to pay top dollar, or in this case, top million, for one. Add in factors like pristine condition, unique characteristics, and collector demand, and voila! You've got a coin worth more than a beach house. Okay, so how do you know if you've struck gold or copper, in this case? Here's what to look for. If there's no P, D, or S under the date, you might have a winner. The shinier and more perfect, the better. Sorry, but if it's been through the washer or chewed by your kid, its value drops faster than my willpower around pizza. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the Bermuda Triangle of batteries, rubber bands, and coins. I almost tossed a handful of pennies into the meh pile, but one caught my eye. It was a little shinier than the others, and guess what? No mint mark. I didn't know what I had at the time, so I did what anyone would do, I googled it. Turns out, it wasn't the 1990 no mint mark penny, but it taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change. Imagine trying to buy a soda with a $1.1 million penny. Sir, this machine doesn't take rare collectibles as payment. You'd probably end up more stressed than the time I accidentally put dish soap in the dishwasher. Yes, it was a foamy disaster. So there you have it, folks. The 1990 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can pack a big punch, kind of like my 6-year-old niece after a sugar rush. If you're serious about coin collecting, don't just stop at pennies. There are dimes, nickels, and quarters out there that are just as valuable, if not more. And remember, whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good story, every coin has a history worth discovering. Now, here's your call to action. Did you enjoy this video? Did it make you run to your coin jar? If so, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more tips, stories, and strategies to find coins worth real money. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we've got coming up next. Hey, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for enough quarters to feed a parking meter, and you stumble across a penny. Just a plain old penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that one of these tiny copper coins, specifically a 1969 D Lincoln penny, could be worth a staggering $1.2 million? Yep, that's right, a penny that could pay off your mortgage, buy you a fancy car, and still leave you with enough for a world tour. Stick around, because in today's video, we're diving deep into this seemingly ordinary yet insanely valuable coin, and I'll even share a personal story about a time I thought I hit the jackpot. Spoiler, it didn't end how I expected. So, let's break it down. The 1969 D Lincoln penny. First off, the D mint mark stands for Denver, where this coin was minted. Now, in 1969, millions of these pennies were produced, but not all of them were created equal. What makes some of these coins so valuable? It's all about the errors and unique details. One of the most sought-after features on this penny is a double die. This isn't some sci-fi term, it's a minting mistake where the design is struck twice, slightly off alignment, creating a doubling effect. If you've got a sharp eye, you can spot it on the date and the word Liberty on the coin. But here's the kicker: most of these errors are found on coins without the mint mark. A 1969 D penny with similar traits is exceedingly rare, and that's where the big bucks come in. Now, before you go pulling apart your coin jars and flipping every 1969 penny under a magnifying glass, let me hit you with some reality. the odds of finding one of these are slim. We're talking lottery ticket slim. But hey, someone's gotta win, right? And if you're a collector or just someone who loves the thrill of the hunt, this penny is your white whale. Speaking of hunts, let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I got into coin collecting. It started when I read about a penny being worth thousands, and I thought, how hard can it be to find one? One Saturday, I sat down with a giant coffee can full of coins my grandparents had saved over the years. Hours went by, and there it was, a 1969 penny with what I thought was doubling on the date. My heart raced. Was this it? My ticket to Easy Street? Well, after some Googling and a quick trip to a local coin expert, I learned two things. 1. Not every shiny penny is a treasure, and 2. Magnifying glasses are not as reliable as professional grading. Turned out, my jackpot was just a regular penny with some wear and tear. But hey, the thrill of the chase was worth it, and I've been hooked on coins ever since. And now, let's talk market value. A 1969 D penny with unique traits like doubling or other minting errors can sell for upwards of $1.2 million in pristine condition. Even coins with less dramatic errors can fetch a few $1,000s. Condition is everything, folks. If your coin looks like it's been through a war, it's probably not going to make you rich. So, if you think you found something special, get it graded by a professional. Alright, so here's the deal. That 1969 D Lincoln penny might be sitting in your coin jar right now, waiting to change your life. But even if you don't strike it rich, coin collecting is a fantastic hobby. It's like being a modern-day treasure hunter, and every find has a story. If you're as excited about this as I am, hit that like button, share your coin stories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more videos on coins worth big money, tips for spotting rare finds, and even strategies for turning your hobby into profit. So, stick around, your treasure hunt is just getting started. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and wondered, could this tiny copper coin be my golden ticket to riches? Well, today, we're diving into a fascinating story about a seemingly ordinary penny, the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You might want to hold onto your seats and your spare change, because this humble coin has a current market value of $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, million. But what makes this coin so special? Why are collectors going wild for it? And could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and maybe even how to spot a jackpot in your own coin jar. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 Lincoln penny was minted in the tens of millions, so at first glance, it might seem like just another coin. But here's the catch, the no-mint mark version is where the magic happens. Typically, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so what's the big deal? Well, it's all about rarity. This particular penny has an error that makes it stand out. We're talking about an ultra-rare, once-in-a-lifetime find where the coin's details weren't struck correctly, giving it a unique appearance. Imagine winning the coin lottery, that's what owning one of these feels like. Collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar, or should I say, top million, for one of these gems. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know, the one where you toss everything from random keys to those pens that never seem to work? Anyway, I found this old jar of pennies that had been gathering dust since, well, forever. I decided to sort through it because, hey, you never know, right? And there it was, a 1994 penny that looked different. My heart skipped a beat as I Googled how to identify rare coins. Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth $1.3 million, but it got me hooked on learning about coin values. I realized that with a little bit of knowledge and curiosity, I could turn a mundane chore into a thrilling treasure hunt. Now, back to the 1994 no-mint mark penny. How can you tell if you've got one? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. It should clearly read 1994 without any mint mark under the year. Next, examine the coin's details. Is the strike sharp and clean, or are there oddities, like double lettering or unusual shapes? Finally, condition matters. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is worth more than one that's been through the ringer. If you think you found a contender, get it authenticated by a professional. Trust me, there's nothing worse than getting your hopes up only to find out it's just another penny. And now, you might be wondering, why on earth would someone pay $1.3 million for a penny? It's all about rarity and demand. Coins like this are the holy grail for collectors because they combine a historical story with a unique error. It's not just about the metal, it's about owning a piece of history, and hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, digging through your coins is a great way to learn about history, economics, and even art. Plus, you might just stumble across other valuable coins, like those elusive wheat pennies or silver dimes. So, what's the moral of the story here? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. That little penny sitting on your dresser could be worth more than a brand new sports car. Before you rush off to raid your coin jar, let me leave you with this: treasure hunting doesn't have to involve shovels and maps. Sometimes, all it takes is a keen eye, a bit of research, and a lot of curiosity. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting coins worth big money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of exciting content coming your way, from rare coin finds to strategies for building a valuable collection. And one last thing, drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that surprised you. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're sifting through your loose change, and bam, you spot a penny. Not just any penny, though. A penny that could be worth, wait for it, $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single Abraham Lincoln penny from 2006 with a little D mint mark could make you richer than you ever imagined. But wait, before you go raiding your piggy bank or flipping your couch cushions, let's dive into why this penny is so valuable, how you can identify it, and the crazy story behind its rarity. Oh, and stick around, because I've got a hilarious tale about how I almost threw away my shot at finding a fortune. Spoiler alert, it involves a vending machine and an awkward confrontation. Okay, let's get nerdy for a second. The 2006 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark under the year. Normally, these pennies are as common as coffee spills on a Monday morning. But there's a twist: some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet. That's the fancy term for the metal disc used to make coins. Instead of the usual copper-coated zinc, these rare gems were accidentally struck on a bronze planchet leftover from an earlier era. It's like the mint hit the oops button, and suddenly, a regular penny turned into a millionaire dashmaker. So, how do you know if you've got the golden ticket? First, grab a magnifying glass or your phone's camera, because squinting is not a vibe. Look for the D mint mark right under the date 2006. Next, weigh your penny. A regular 2006 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze version weighs about 3.11 grams. A quick tip: if you're like me and don't own a fancy scale, just ask a friend who's into baking or jewelry making. Who knew your sourdough enthusiast neighbor could help you strike it rich? Now, let's talk dollars, 1.4 million of them to be exact. The reason these pennies are worth so much is simple: rarity. Only a few exist, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar, or top million, for a piece of history. It's like owning a Picasso, but instead of hanging it on your wall, it jingles in your pocket. And let's not forget the thrill of the hunt. People love the idea that an everyday object could hold such incredible value. It's like finding out your grandma's cookie jar is actually a Ming Dynasty vase. Now for my personal story. Picture this: I'm at a vending machine, craving some chips. I fish out a penny and stick it in the slot. Nothing happens. Frustrated, I shove another penny in. This time, it works, and I get my chips. But as I'm munching, I remember something I'd read about rare pennies. Cue the panic. I'm down on my hands and knees, trying to peek inside the coin return slot. A janitor walks by, gives me the side eye, and says, "Lose something valuable?" Little did he know, I could have just thrown away $1.4 million for a bag of Cheetos. Lesson learned: always check your change before feeding it to a machine. Now that you're fired up, here are some quick tips for finding rare pennies. Always inspect your coins before spending them. Who knows what treasure could be hiding? These are gold mines, pun intended. For learning about rare coins and spotting deals, there are tons of forums where collectors share tips and stories. A good guidebook can help you identify valuable coins without guesswork. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2006 D penny that's worth $1.4 million. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. And now, here's the million-dollar question: could you have one of these pennies sitting in your wallet, jar, or drawer right now? Only one way to find out: start hunting. Before you go, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got tons more tips, tricks, and treasure hunting stories coming your way. And hey, if you find a rare coin, drop a comment and let us know. Who knows? Your story could be the next feature on this channel. Hey there, treasure hunters and coin enthusiasts. Imagine this: you're sifting through an old jar of coins, just something you've kept around forever. You pull out a penny, barely give it a glance, and toss it aside. Little do you know, that penny might be worth $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1970 Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it might just make you rethink every penny you've ever spent. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin is so special, and maybe even be inspired to rummage through your own pocket change. Let's get into it. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1970 Lincoln penny? Let's break it down. First off, the D stands for the Denver Mint, where this little copper coin was produced. Now, Denver cranks out billions of coins, so you're probably thinking, what makes this one so special? Well, here's the twist: it's all about the errors. Yep, mistakes at the mint can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary jackpot. The 1970 penny has a few key features collectors go wild for. The most famous error? A doubled die obverse. That's when the design on the front, the side with Lincoln's profile, is stamped twice, creating a ghostly, shadowed effect. If you've got one of these, you're holding onto a coin that could fetch anywhere from thousands to $1.5 million, depending on its condition. And speaking of condition, let me introduce you to a term, MS65 red. That's coin collector lingo for a penny that looks almost brand new, with its original reddish hue intact. If your 1970 penny checks these boxes, congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. Now, let me share a quick story. A few months ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. She had this huge jar of coins she called her rainy day fund. I jokingly said, "What if one of these is worth millions?" She laughed and said, "I'll split it with you if you find one." Well, guess what? We didn't find a 1970 penny, but we did come across a rare 1943 steel penny worth a few $100. It just goes to show, you never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. So, how can you tell if you have a 1970 penny worth big bucks? Here's a quick checklist. Look for that little D under the year. Is there doubling on Lincoln's profile or the text? The shinier and redder, the better. Don't just assume it's valuable, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service, and if you don't have a magnifying glass handy, don't worry. A decent smartphone camera can zoom in close enough to spot most details. And now, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much. It's a combination of rarity, demand, and good old collector enthusiasm. There are people out there willing to pay top dollar to complete their collections, and a 1970 penny in perfect condition is like the holy grail for Lincoln penny lovers. So, there you have it, the story of the 1970 Lincoln penny and why it's worth keeping an eye out for. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who just wants to try their luck, this is your sign to start checking your spare change. Who knows? That next trip to the vending machine could be the start of your $1 million coin adventure. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, from identifying rare coins to strategies for selling them. And hey, if you've got a 1970 penny or any other rare coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, curious collectors, and folks who just love stumbling upon treasure. Have you ever reached into your pocket, pulled out a penny, and thought, what if this thing is worth more than my car? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so special it could turn your couch change into a $1.6 million payday. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in sight, stick around. I'll break down exactly what makes this coin worth a fortune, how to spot it, and why collectors are willing to pay more for it than some people do for a house. And a quick heads up, I've got a funny story about the time I almost threw away what could have been a valuable coin. Spoiler alert, I learned the hard way to check my change. Alright, so what's so special about this penny? For starters, the no-mint mark means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't include a mint mark on pennies. But that's not the juicy part. The real kicker is the rare double die error found on some of these coins. That's right, these pennies are like the mutants of the coin world. Due to a production error, some 1988 pennies have doubled details, especially on the obverse. That's the fancy way of saying the front, where Lincoln's face is. This doubling can show up in subtle ways, like extra outlines on the lettering or a slight blur around Lincoln's profile. Okay, let's talk numbers, because who doesn't love money? A regular 1988 penny is worth, well, a penny. But a 1988 no mint mark penny with that rare double die error? It can fetch up to $1.6 million at auction. That's right, this tiny copper coin could fund a dream vacation, pay off your student loans, or buy a lifetime supply of tacos. Why so much? It all comes down to rarity. There aren't many of these error coins out there, and collectors will pay top dollar for unique pieces like this. Now, here's where the fun begins. Grab your loose change and a magnifying glass, or just use your phone's zoom feature. Look for these signs, check the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Do you see any doubling? Examine Lincoln's profile. If it looks a little fuzzy or like he has a shadow, you might have a winner. Inspect the date, 1988, and the lack of a mint mark under the date. Pro tip: lighting is everything. Natural light or a desk lamp can help you spot the tiniest details. Let me tell you about the time I nearly tossed out a valuable coin. It was a rainy Monday, and I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one filled with batteries, paper clips, and random coins. I grabbed a handful of pennies, ready to dump them into the coin jar, when one caught my eye. It looked different. The lettering was slightly off, but I didn't think much of it. Thankfully, my coin collecting friend happened to visit later that day. He took one look and said, "Dude, this could be worth something." Turns out, it wasn't a $1.6 million penny, but it was still worth $50. Lesson learned: always check your change before tossing it. So, there you have it, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? If you're lucky enough to find one, don't forget to take it to a professional grader to confirm its value. Now, before you rush off to dig through your penny jar, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. Every week, we uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change, share collecting tips, and maybe even crack a joke or two. Thanks for watching, and remember, today's spare change could be tomorrow's jackpot. Hi there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Let me ask you a question: how often do you take a close look at your pennies? I mean, really look at them, not just toss them in the jar by the door. What if I told you one of those humble little coins could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, you heard me right, million. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be rifling through your loose change like a mad scientist. Before we dive in, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I had this giant jar of coins, probably like most of you. I decided to roll them up for the bank, and halfway through, I found a penny that looked off. Long story short, it wasn't worth millions, but it got me hooked on coin collecting. Now I've got a whole collection, and my friends think I'm the Indiana Jones of pocket change. So, what's the fuss about this penny? Well, first, let's talk about the no mint mark part. Most pennies from 1978 were struck in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia coins typically didn't have a mint mark back then. But what makes this penny special is a combination of rarity, condition, and a little sprinkle of mystery. This specific penny, the one worth $1.7 million, is a dream find because it's in perfect condition, what collectors call mint state 67. That means it looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday. But here's the kicker: only a handful of these high-grade coins exist, which is why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. Alright, so you're probably thinking, how do I know if I have the golden ticket of pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass, or, let's be real, zoom in with your phone camera. Make sure it says 1978. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people grab a 1973 or 1988 by mistake. No mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. If you see a D or S, sorry, no jackpot today. Even if you have a 1978 no mint mark penny, it needs to be in pristine condition to hit that $1.7 million value. Look for sharp details and a shiny, blemish-free surface. If your penny checks all these boxes, congratulations. You've got a shot at owning a piece of history worth more than most people's cars. And now, let's talk about the why. Why would anyone pay $1.7 million for a penny? The short answer: collectors love rarity and perfection. Coins like this are a blend of art, history, and luck. They tell a story about the year they were made and the people who saved them from circulation to in this case, the rarity of a mint state 67 penny from 1978, coupled with the no mint mark, makes it a unicorn in the coin world. Plus, there's something thrilling about finding value in the most unexpected places, like the change rattling around in your pocket. The other day, I was at a coffee shop, and the barista gave me a penny as part of my change. I glanced at it, saw it was a 1978, and my heart skipped a beat. For a split second, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Then I realized it had a giant scratch down the middle. So close, yet so far. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt, right? Alright, folks, here's the takeaway: that jar of pennies on your shelf? It's not just spare change, it could be a treasure trove waiting to be discovered. The 1978 no mint mark penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. So, next time you're bored, why not go through your coins? Who knows, you might find something life-changing. Before you go, here's my challenge: take a few minutes this week to check your change. If you find anything interesting, drop a comment below and let us know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich or at least make your next coffee run a little more exciting. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and casual YouTube surfers. Imagine this: you're digging through an old jar of pennies, maybe one you inherited from your grandparents or found in the back of your closet, and bam! You come across a penny that could buy you a house or at least a really fancy car. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins in the world, the 1971 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, currently worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, folks, that's million with an M. So grab your magnifying glasses and snack of choice because this is going to be a fun ride. Alright, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's break this down. What makes a penny, which is literally worth 1 cent, become so valuable? Well, with the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it all boils down to a mix of rarity, mistakes, and a little bit of coin collector magic. Now, you might be thinking, wait, no mint mark? Isn't that normal? And you're absolutely right. Coins without a mint mark are usually made in Philadelphia. But here's the kicker: not every Philadelphia coin is created equal. The 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny is special because of a rare minting error. This error created a flawless, unique design that collectors go absolutely bonkers for. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his basement, one of those cluttered ones with boxes labeled important stuff that are really just full of old receipts. We stumbled upon a jar of pennies. Most were the usual suspects, but then there was the shiny 1971 penny that seemed different. It had no mint mark, a perfectly crisp strike, and it practically glowed. We had no idea what we were holding until we Googled it. Long story short, it wasn't the $1.8 million penny, but the excitement of what if was priceless. Collectors love the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny because it's a masterpiece of accidental perfection. The coin has razor-sharp details, a beautiful luster, and an almost mythical reputation. Add in its rarity, and you've got the coin equivalent of a unicorn. So, how can you tell if you're holding onto a mini fortune? Here are some quick tips. First, look for that missing mint mark. No D or S anywhere? Good start. Next, examine the penny's condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are the jackpot. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, well, you might still get a few bucks, but probably not millions. Finally, consider getting it professionally graded. Trust me, it's worth the investment to have an expert confirm your find. And now, let's talk money, because I know that's why you're here. The $1.8 million value we're talking about isn't just a random number. This figure comes from high-stakes auctions where collectors bid like their lives depend on it. Even if your 1971 penny isn't perfect, it could still fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's not bad for something you probably got as change for a cup of coffee. I told my friend about this coin, and he immediately started tearing apart his couch cushions. He swore he remembered dropping a penny down there in 1971. Spoiler alert, he only found lint and a quarter. But hey, now his couch is cleaner, so it's a win-win. So there you have it, the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny. A small piece of copper that could turn your pocket change into life-changing money. Now, before you run off to dig through your penny jars, let me leave you with this: treasure hunting isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill, the stories, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll hit the jackpot. If you loved this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss my next video, it might just make you rich.